Merry Christmas. It is Christmas Day, about noon. We got that group of cows up north, a mile and a half, and we're gonna bring them home. And since we're gonna be traveling, going to some family stuff the next few days, I'm gonna cut the chores down. We are gonna open this bale grazing thing up. I'm gonna give them like 30 bales of hay. So we're gonna move this wire in 3-4 rows. Then we're gonna go bring them cows here. Then we'll be done for a couple, 3 days. Well, we moved them. I don't know, it probably took us 10 minutes, I would guess. Quite a bit of wind and there's sleet, it's turning to snow. So this grid is like 200 bales, but we're on the south side of it now. So you always want to start on the south end and work north, or whichever, I mean, that's the prevailing winds, is the northwest wind. So it was interesting. Once I got in there a couple rows, it actually, you couldn't feel the wind. It started to feel better down in there. And the bales all act as a windbreak to some extent. And then of course the cows will get in there and eaten, and they'll create a windbreak for the next, you know, layer of cows. But so there's the bales we just opened up. We got the cows, we brought them over. They hadn't been going to water because of the snow and the rain and whatnot. And then I'm actually going to combine that other group with these. It looks like they're gonna take off without me. We'll get them. Well, here's that group we chased up. This is the older group of cows. And they walk down there and see how they trying to run a little bit, but I don't like that. I don't let them. I just go cut her off. So we're going home. We kind of got what we needed out of there, but we're getting iced out today. They're talking 7 to 9 inches of snow. It was 2.5 weeks on that quarter of corn, so we probably got what we needed out of there. And it's Christmas Day. We're gonna start grazing standing corn here in a couple days. Get them filled up at home. Start into some standing corn and bale grazing. So we got the other group brought over, and I unrolled that little bit of bale I had on the pickup. So now we got both groups together, kind of doing some pecking order stuff. A few of them fighting and whatever. Right down here you can see. All these bales here, most of the bale grazing I do is pretty rough hay. This is all CRP hay, but it was pretty darn good because it's been hayed quite frequently over the last few years. But it's still mature and mainly their roughage. So I'm gonna still have to supplement these cows with some protein. That's what's nice about having the bale bed. I can come out here with 1 bale of alfalfa for 300 and some, whatever's here, I don't know, 350 cows. And 1 bale definitely is enough to get them their protein they need. And once we get on the corn, I don't hardly need to do any supplementing. We gave about 30 some bales, 31 or 2 bales. So it's about 12, between 10 and 15 cows per bale. Once they get done cleaning up here and they all start to get spread out, there'll be room around each bale for 15 cows. That's kind of the max. And that should be 3 days. You know, it should be right around, with supplementation, I should get 3 days out of this move without having to give them another batch of roughage bales. But this just saves me from hauling. I'd have to haul 10,000 pounds of roughage per day to these cows. Now I can just haul them 10 pounds, 3,000 pounds, or 2,000 pounds. I did this in the summertime. You can see the grass regrowth there. I set these out, we pulled them off the field, and I set them right in where they're gonna be. So I handled them one time. I pulled them off where I baled them. I didn't gather the bales, I just loaded them on the truck, brought them here, unloaded them, and lined them up like this. I'm not having to handle that bulk, the main bulk of what cows need. I'm not having to handle all that. Some of these cows, the ones we just brought, they haven't had any silage for 3 weeks. So I'm not gonna give them any silage today. I want them to get full, their stomachs to be full of roughage before I bring them any silage. You can have a calcium phosphorus imbalance if you feed empty cows a whole bunch of silage in one shot. You can Google that, but it's either a calcium or phosphorus. I think it gets imbalanced one way or the other. They kind of go into like a shock or whatever. I want to make sure they get all good and full here. And it's not cold. I mean, it's whatever, it's 25 degrees. The wind's blowing, but they're out of the wind now with these bales. And then it's supposed to be 35 tomorrow or 34. I'm not panicked about energy or cold. So I'm just gonna let them fill up on this CRP hay today and tonight. And tomorrow I'll give them 10-15 pounds a piece of silage and alfalfa mix, and kind of get them rolling. And then we got rumensin in the mineral, which helps with bloat. I want to get some sodium bicarbonate, which is baking soda, and salt, and get that in a bunk right close to where the cornfield is. And I want to get them good on that. I want to be giving them rumensin, get their stomachs ready for when we turn them into that standing corn. We're turning them into 125 to 130 bushel corn. It is grazing corn, but I want to get their guts partially set up so they're ready to go into there. And then once we go into there, I can back off rumensin in the wagon. I can slowly start. I don't need to feed that all the time. Mineral guy would like me to feed it all the time, but probably go down to every 3 days. We've got 4 or 5 of these pods set out, so we've got a little over 1,000 bales set out right now. Well, it's been 3 days since we moved that wire. Just rolled them a bale with the pickup. That's gonna buy me about 10-15 minutes. I'm gonna run over here and move that wire and give them another 35 bales or whatever. And that should be good for a couple, 3 more days. We're gonna be gone Saturday, so tomorrow we're gonna let them into some grazing, some standing corn. So they'll be full of hay, introduce them to that corn. That's gonna buy me a couple, 3 days of no chores for the cows, so we can be gone. But I'll show you what it looks like after 2 inches of rain and these guys grazing this down. It looks like they plowed it. So here's what it looks like. We have had like 2 inches of rain and then 4 or 5 inches of snow that it was kind of melting as it came. So you can see there's water standing in these little pug holes. So this was all rough CRP hay, which I have found works the best for bale grazing if you want the most impact on the soil. If you use too good a hay, they eat it all, and then you don't get any benefit to the ground. We've pretty much got every square inch, quite a bit of impact, I'd say. There's 2 bales there they didn't eat. They were there yesterday too. I'm not sure what's going on with those, if they're full of sweet clover or they're cattails or what, but eventually they'll eat them. This is a side hill, which is fine. I didn't put any bales like down in that creek, obviously, because you don't want to add a bunch more fertility right into the creek line. That's not really a creek, but it's a low spot. I skipped that. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take this hot wire now, and I'm gonna go right down through this creek line over to there, and we'll give them this triangle of bales. I'm not sure how many are here, but we'll give them this triangle. Cows are broke pretty good to hot wire, as you can see. This is about, well, there's a dog. It's about 8 inches off the ground because of the frost, and I don't know how much juice is in this thing anymore. Now it says 5.5. The manure's starting to come around. This one's pretty nice. Find another one here. That one's probably too stacked. You know, that one's not enough protein yet. We're getting there though. I mean, I'm not tripping over them. This one's good, real good. She's probably getting a little too much, maybe. Look at these deer. Come here, Millie. Millie. Mrrr. Don't. Mrrr. So foggy. Mrrr. Mrrr. I've been giving them like 25 pounds of silage. I do that with the wagon, give them 1 bale of first cutting alfalfa. I want to give them with the wagon every day because I want to give them rumensin and the mineral. What it does is it makes the stomachs work better on the cow. The bugs, it makes them work better. The cow doesn't have to work so hard, cuts down on your feed, so they're more satisfied. You can feed them the same amount every day, and by day 3 with rumensin, they don't meet you at the gate anymore. They'll still eat it, but they stand there and wait. Same exact feed, same amount. I've done it every year, and it's the same result. Let's move some fence. This is a remote control fence. We'll see if I can get her to work. Yep. So there it quit flashing. We're a half a mile, 3/4 of a mile away from home. And it's fencing, the fencer's working the quarter at home, and then this quarter here. Remote deal's pretty slick, because now this wire's dead, we move it, hook it over there, jazz her back up, we're good to go. Got the fence up, and we timed it out about right. One thing I've learned over the years is you gotta have that's borderline. Right there, you see how close that is, about 12 feet? That's borderline problematic, because when they go ahead and explode that bale, when they eat that bale, there's a chance they could get it on the wire. I don't like to be any closer than that, 12 feet. Pretty soft with a little pool of moisture right there in the middle. That's perfect. If I could get them to all do that, we'd be in good shape. I gotta go grab a bunk and fill her up full of salt. Something about salt when you go onto that corn definitely helps with the acidosis and the bloating and such. And I'll try to get a few bags of sodium bicarbonate, baking soda. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.